Number one thing that I could tell a young man, man, and like I said, man, this is for the young brothers who ride with me, man. I got a lot of young brothers who ride with me, man. Like that what's that, 18 to 24 demographic, man, is a strong demographic for me, man. Is a strong demographic for me, stronger than I would expect. Of course, my strongest demographic is 25 to 36. You know what I'm saying? That's my strongest demographic because those are the men that are out here. They've been in the world living their life for a minute and they bumped their head a few times. Then a few on up from that, man, 36 to I guess it's 45 or something like that. Hell, I even got a few cats, man, up in their 60s, man. I got a nice little chunk of demographic in their 60s too, man. So, let's get into this, man. And listen, the crazy shit is, I have a small female base, man, a very small female base. But I don't make content. I don't make female friendly content. But the majority of those females, man, are in their 60s. So the older women who finally figured it out once their SMV is gone, man, they love it. They wish they knew it when they were younger. You see what I'm saying? So let's get into this thing, man. The first thing I would tell you, man, is, and this goes for some of my older brothers, some of my mature brothers as well, some of you grown men, stop overvaluing women, man. You understand? Because when you overvalue women, you're not overvaluing women, you're undervaluing yourself. You see, as alpha men, we don't approach the world from the perspective of looking through the woman's eyes first. Matter of fact, we don't ever approach the perspective of looking through the woman's eyes. So when everything that comes out of man's mouth is about the woman, he looks at the world from a woman's perspective. He views the world from, I don't understand how to view the world from a feminine perspective. So when a broad tell me, you just don't understand, where I'm coming from. You don't get it. I be like, Shawty, you right. I don't get it. And frankly, I don't want to get it. I don't want to understand how you see the world. I don't even want to succumb to that level of illogic. Whatever you're thinking, I don't know what the hell it is, and I'm not going to listen to you long enough to figure out what it is. I don't want to view it from your perspective. But you got a lot of brothers out here that'll tell you to view it from that perspective. Always view the woman first. So when you overvalue the woman, you're not overvaluing the woman, you're undervaluing yourself. When you overvalue sex with a woman, you're not overvaluing her sex, you're undervaluing yours. You understand? You're not overvaluing the vagina, you're undervaluing the penis. That's what you're doing. And the crazy thing is, how can you undervalue the penis when it's the thing that keep your bladder from rupturing inside of you? It's the thing that lets you know when you done ran up in the wrong thing. It's the thing that emits the semen that creates your seed, man. When you look at your son, when you look at your daughter, you can't think about the woman's vagina. You got to think about your wood. That's what created that child. That's what sent the seed forth from your body, from your loins to create that seed. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not about overvaluing the woman. It's about undervaluing yourself. Another thing that I tell a young man is this. You got to make a woman earn your presence. See, your presence shouldn't be free. Your presence shouldn't be something that you give a woman just because she's a woman. Your presence is valuable. How valuable is your presence in your life? Well, it's at least 5 times as valuable in hers. Because she ain't even used to it. She don't even know the benefits. She ain't even never got the benefits from nobody else. You got to understand that your presence is the most valuable thing you have, because without your presence, none of the benefits of who you are comes to pass. So you can't just show up because a woman wants you to be there and think that she deserves to have your presence there. I mean, unless you're a peon. You understand? But we ain't peons. You know what I'm saying? This the alpha sphere. You know what I'm saying? Your presence is her present. You understand? I mean, I don't give no woman there for her birthday, then for Christmas, or none of that shit. If I'm around, shout out, yeah, that's your gift. Ain't nothing nobody can give you in the world that's better than me. Ain't nothing nobody can give you in the world that's more valuable than me. I can buy you a 10-carat diamond. You know what? You can't even eat it. If you starve, you can't eat it. If you sell it, you ain't gonna get the money back for it that's spent on it. It ain't gonna get you fit. It ain't gonna get you healthy. It ain't gonna get you wealthy. It ain't gonna do none of that. It ain't gonna give you peace of mind. It sure can't beat your back out. I'm the most valuable thing that any woman in my life has in her life, and I'm going to make sure that they always remember that. And that's what you got to do as a young man, especially, man. Most young men deal with women in their age range. When you understand the world that we live in, man, don't let no man tell you, man, that you live in a matriarchy. Don't let no fool tell you that. You understand? Nigga, a matriarch. Watch the movie Wonder Woman. That's a matriarchy, nigga. You don't live in a matriarchy. You live in a society where women don't have to just lay down on the ground no more, and most of these boys too weak to deal with that. Most of these boys can't deal with a woman that can talk back. Most of these boys can't deal with a woman that has her own opinion. Most of these boys can't deal with a woman that has her own agenda. Most of these boys don't know how to sift through that. They need a woman that's just gonna lay there They need a woman that's gonna lay down, take it, they can walk over, she ain't gonna have, she can't, and the problem with a woman like that, she ain't got no input. If you got a woman that you're gonna lay down and walk over, she gonna be like on Fufu on Coming to America. She's jumping on one leg, barking. Don't never stop till he say stop. He say, okay, let me talk to my father for a minute. She leave off hopping and barking. That's what these boys need. But that's not what a man needs. That's not what a man stands on. You understand what I'm saying? You got to understand this, man. You know, and you got, you know, like the homie just said in the chat, man, the Me Too movement. The Me Too movement is based on thirst. If you're not thirsty, you don't have to worry about the Me Too movement. You understand? You just don't have to worry about it. That's for thirsty cats. Hey, first of all, nigga, you don't come in here telling me what to talk about. If you don't want to hear what I'm talking about, bounce. It's not a democracy, nigga. It's a dictatorship. You go to somewhere else and listen to somebody talk about something. You know, you shut up and listen, then you'll see, man, that I'm going to get into other things. But this for young men. Matter of fact, you talk too much. Talking about less talk. Nigga, I'm talking. Basically, what you saying, the BoA talk about something else. Now you go somewhere else. Listen. Right now, when I'm talking, don't say nothing contrary to what I'm saying, nigga. You can just listen in silence. And that's just the reality of it. See, that's the thing, man. If you ain't feeling what's going on over here, go somewhere else. You ain't got to be here. If you tired of hearing what I'm talking about, bounce, man. So another thing that I can tell a man is this, man. You know, you got to, as I stated, you got to warrant her presence. You got to. She has to warrant your presence. Another thing is this, man. All women have the potential. Have the propensity to be with multiple men. So why go down that wormhole of expecting this long-term monogamous relationship from a woman, dog? You understand? Why think you can never think forever with women? Don't ever think forever with a woman, man. It's just not what you do. Y'all bear with me, man. There's a plane flying over here, man. Actually, that's a lawnmower, man. So y'all bear with me, man. So you got to understand, man, that you can't live this fantasy that these people telling you, man, where you get the wife and the kids and the white picket fence, man. Y'all live happily ever after, man, and everything be great, and y'all grow old together and die together, man. Hey, man, when the last time you seen a couple do that? You know what I'm saying? When the last time you seen a couple do that? Most of us talking about our grandparents. And even some of those scenarios, they just stayed together. Like when do you remember an old couple that's loving? You know what I'm saying? Listen, I got a couple clients right now. He in his 70s. She just hit 70. He's 75. She's 70. But hell, they didn't get married first. She was married already. They've been married, man, maybe like 15 years. So we talking about they was already old when they got married, or older. You know what I'm saying? He was already 60 when they got married. So they were already established and situated, and they had some things in common. They met, and then they went off. I'm talking about starting off young, where a young man is right now. That ain't gonna work, man. BR313, what's good, homie? Freelance, what up? Now, another thing is this, man. You got to keep this in mind as well. And the reason for this is they all really want two men. Like when I'm dealing with a woman, man, it's hard dealing with me. Subconsciously, she want an easy man that's gonna cater to her. Subconsciously, every woman has a desire to have a man that's the opposite of the man she has. If you're a beta male simp mangina, then your woman is gonna secretly desire to have an alpha male. You understand? Period. If you a sucker with your woman, she gonna desire to have an alpha male. Period. If you alpha with your woman, sometime when it get real hard on her, when she feel like you being too hard on her, she gonna desire to have a sucker. Now the thing is, if you a beta male simp mangina, your woman gonna desire an alpha male for sexual reasons mostly. You understand? So you got to think about that. If you're a beta male simp mangina, your woman want to go get her back broke by alpha. If you're an alpha male, your woman just want to go be catered to by a nigga. So your woman, if you alpha and you push the hard line with a woman, man, you make her stick to her shit, she want to go somewhere, have somebody cater to her. But let me tell you the secret: that nigga who gonna cater to her ain't gonna turn her on. See what I'm saying? So when I hear men say, well, alpha males get cheated on too, hey man, that shit totally different. You know what I'm saying? She go and get some emotional stability. She treats you niggas like an emotional sponge, so she can be rejuvenated. You know what I'm saying? And feel loved again. It's like she wants you to chase her. She wants you to make her feel like she's greater than you, because every day she's around me, she knows and understands that I'm greater than her. Every woman wants to feel like she's above a man from time to time. Not all of them fly into that feminist shit, but every woman wants to feel like she's above a man from time to time. Feminist women just go overboard with it till they actually start believing it. You see what I'm saying? Another thing is this, brothers. You got to keep this in mind as well. You got to avoid betas. Beta male simp manginas, you have to avoid them at all cost. I mean, you gotta not keep in the company of beta male simp manginas. They're emotional, and emotional men bring negative energy. Emotional men bring evil energy. Emotional men bring all types of things into your life, man, that is the opposite of your success. That is the enemy of your success. So you got to avoid these beta male simp manginas. These cats that's always into it, always rah-rah, always sitting around arguing with women, always doing all that, man. I avoid them cats. I got one time to hear a nigga arguing with a woman, man, it's over. I ain't dealing with him no more. And the thing is, if you're a young man, you probably might not be in a situation to avoid all the beta male simp mangina. Let's say you in college. Hell, let's say you even in the military. Let's say you in school, you play basketball. Let's say whatever it is, wherever you are. Let's say you at fucking boarding school. Who knows where you could be? You at Job Corps. Wherever you are. If you're in a situation where you can't avoid beta male simp manginas completely, you got to feed them with a long handle spoon. But at the very earliest part, that's why I tell men you got to be in control of your ability to earn. You got to be in control of your ability to make money, because you don't want to be stuck in an environment and you got to deal with these beta male simp manginas because you need the money. You know what I'm saying? That's why I push that. I don't push it just to say, well, you're a sucker if you got a job. I don't push it for that. I push it because of the freedom that you get to rid your life of negative energy when you control your ability to earn income. See what I'm saying? Beta man, simp man, Johnny man, be done did something to somebody, like the homie JB said. Beta man, simp man, Johnny be done did something, man, somebody ride by and add a place out. You know what I'm saying? Beta man, Johnny be done got you killed, literally, because you don't know what's going on and the nigga gonna lie about it. You know what I'm saying? The joke ain't gonna keep it 100 with you, because if you real, the beta male simp man Johnny gonna try to act like he real. That's why I talk about these fake alpha males. There's a bunch of cats on this platform who fake like they alpha. But when the time come, you hear them niggas, you hear them, arguing with women and getting all emotional. And, and when it's time to meet somebody face to face, when they've been yapping off at the mouth, they're no show. All these types of things take place, man. They don't want no parts of it. These niggas don't want no static because they try to portray themselves as something they're not. And let me tell you something. Everybody can be gangster until a real gangster come in the room. You know what I'm saying? I used to always make sure when I was on the turf, I made sure no matter who came in the room, the jacker, the banger, no matter who came in the room, I made sure I made contact with all them niggas. Eye contact. You know what I'm saying? I make eye contact with all them niggas, cause bro, you got a hell of a reputation. Only difference between me and you, nigga, is I make money. I don't kill for a living. But if it come down to it, me and you, we both the same type of killer, dog. We both gonna do what we gotta do to keep our eyes open and keep our heart beating. You understand what I'm saying? But these boys, when it's time to face that music, they don't want to face it, because everybody can be a pimp until a real pimp step in the room. Everybody can be a gangster until a real gangster step in the room. Everybody can be a godly man until a godly man step in the room. You see what I'm saying? That's just the reality of it. And motherfuckers don't understand that. So the beta male simp mangina, he can play all of the roles. If he's around some gangsters, he can act like a gangster until it's time to bust. If he's around alpha, he can act like an alpha until some pretty girls come around. See what I'm saying? So you got to watch these boys. Everybody around you, man, you got to watch the way they move. Now, this is really for young cats right here, but none the least. I know some of you brothers in here got sons, you got nephews, you got young men that you tutor. You got a lot of young men who can benefit from this information, even though you know it already. So every time it ain't about us. A lot of times it's about what we gonna get these young men. You understand? We see them out here making these terrible mistakes because they ain't got no guidance out here. And it's up to us to give them that guidance. I done missed a couple of super chats here, man. Mike Larry, appreciate the $5 super chat, my brother. Good to see you in the joint. Mike Larry again with the $10 super chat. Appreciate it, bro. Renzel, appreciate the $2 super chat, man. Renzel say so many beta man. Say my job, I'm ready to lead this shit. Hey man, that's how it is, bro. That's how it is, man. You know, you gotta my homie see Doug say way too all right. That's what it is, man. These niggas is all right with everybody. Freelance, Ronan, appreciate the $5 super chat. Homie say emo guys are terrible for business as well. They're unreliable and can't be trusted in the workplace. Basically the equivalent of a locker room counselor. Hey, that's real talk right there, man. And that's something we don't talk about, man. We don't talk about these. You know, he said emo, but we call them metros. You know, these metrosexual guys, man. You know what I'm saying? You can't trust those guys, man, because you never know what energy is going to come out of them. Those guys are literally 50-50 feminine and masculine energy. So you never know what's going to come out of. They wear masculine clothes, but they have feminine energy. You see what I'm saying? And you don't know what bag a guy like that is going to come out of. It just depends on how emotional he is today. You understand what I'm saying? Another thing is this, man, and I tell young men this, man, shacking up is backing up. You know what I'm saying? Don't live with women unless your money is really jacked up. Like you fresh out the pen and you ain't really got nowhere to go or something like that. But even in those situations, man, in that situation, I understand. But man, in normal situation, niggas better live in your car. You understand? Honestly, it's better to live in your car. And a lot of men ain't gonna tell you this shit because they don't have heart. You know what I'm saying? It's better when you're trying to build yourself up. The one thing you need more than anything, and I tell any man this, young man, old man, white man, black man, orange man, purple man, green man, blue man, the one thing you need in your life when you're trying to rebuild your life or even build your life is peace of mind. If you got to be stressed about your finances, you damn sure don't need no stress from a woman coming on top of that shit. You understand? If you got to stress about your freedom, you damn sure don't need no stress from a woman coming up on top of that. You see what I'm saying? It's better to be stressed in your whip, nigga, and go take a bath at the gym. You understand? Get your $10 gym membership. You got to be grinding to get money. You just ain't got nowhere to stay. If you got a car, live in it, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Get you the cheapest storage you can find. Throw all your shit away. Only get enough storage to put your clothes in. I'm telling you this from a nigga who did it. You understand? The transition from running in the streets, boy, it took years. But I had to cut off completely. I had to cut off all ties to hustling. Before the Most High even gave me the insight to bless me to move in the other direction. He said, boy, you're not going to play me. This is what the Most High said to me. He said, boy, you're not going to play me. I know you. Don't you think I know you, nigga? I made you. I'm telling you what the Most High told me. Nigga, I made you. I know you think you're going to keep one foot in there and then put the other foot over here. And then you're going to let that go when I give you what I got for you. Nigga, I'm the daddy, you the son. Either you pick your foot out of that and rely on me. And the longer I tried to straddle the fence, the longer the gap was between when I left out of that and got into legit. You know what I'm saying? So that was a gap where I was just fucking floating, bro. I was floating. So I'm telling you niggas what happens when shit get rough, when shit get hard. You still got to rely on yourself in the Most High. You still got to be able to remember that peace of mind is priceless. I don't really care what you think you got. Nigga, peace of mind is worth being hungry. Peace of mind is worth living in your car. Peace of mind is worth not having whatever the hell you got, not buying new clothes. Peace of mind is worth all that. And that's what you got to keep in mind, man. You have to understand that you cannot give up your peace of mind. You simply can't do it. Nigga, it is better to dwell in the corner of the rooftop than in a wild house with a brawling woman. I say again, it is better to dwell in the wilderness than in a wild house with a brawling woman. It is better to dwell alone, my brothers, wherever alone is. And this is the reality of it, man. Another thing is this, man. And you really got to keep this in mind, man. You cannot allow yourself to be caught up in, you got to set boundaries in your life. That's the main thing you got to do. You got to set boundaries in your life. And you got to stick to those boundaries. You understand? Like, you can't let anyone else set the boundaries in your life. You have to set the boundaries. You have to know where the line is, and you have to know not to cross it. Nobody can set those boundaries for you. Everything you learned as a child, those things are fine. But I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. The majority of things you learned as a child are not going to apply to your adult life because the world changes so much. Only the basic principles of manhood apply. Only the basic principles of masculinity stand the test of time. All the other things about how to navigate the education system or how to navigate the justice system or how to navigate, the banking system or how to get money or, how to save money or how to invest money, all those things change over time. The only things that stand the test of time are the principles of masculinity. And that's why in the alpha sphere, that's all we talk about are the principles of masculinity as it applies to men, as it applies to women, as it applies to life, as it applies to money, as it applies to health, as it applies to God. We talk about the principles of masculinity because nothing else really matters when you're developing into the man that you're going to become. I wouldn't say it if it wasn't true. And all of these men in here can vouch for that. Any man who's attained any level of life, who's gone through anything, who's had to develop himself based on his experiences, can tell you the same thing. He has found out that the only things that apply when you navigate through this life are the principles of masculinity and manhood. Nothing else matters. Louis Bill, appreciate the $2 super chat, bro. Jeffrey Staten as well. Appreciate the $2 super chat. Homie say, bro, I agree. Alpha set those boundaries in life. That's really all it is, man. Alphas is just about boundaries. So when I talk about cold approach, I'm not saying there is no woman that's not worth talking to. I'm saying that there's a boundary that an alpha male sets when it comes to how he's going to interact with a woman. And he's not going to cross into that boundary that resembles anything like chasing a woman. That's why I don't cold approach, because I'm not chasing no woman. I can't bring myself to do it. It ain't in me to do. I can't do it. It ain't nothing about her that's going to make me say, you know what? I'm so lowly and she's so much of a value to me that I got to go get her. I can't do it, bro. And that's the reality of it. See, the problem with these dudes, man, you got to focus on controlling the things you can and ignore the things that you can't. So when you hear men complaining about things that have nothing to do with them, when you hear men complaining about the things like what K. Michelle said, I don't care what K. Michelle said. That has nothing to do with me. When men ask me, well, how do you feel about the verdict? And I don't care about that. In my opinion, man, hell, she got some time. Why y'all crying? Let me tell you something about brothers, man. And this is why you can't worry about the things you can't control. First of all, most cops that kill brothers don't get no time. You understand? The cat from who strangled Eric Garner, he just got fired. Cat didn't get a day of time. He still had his job until this year. He just got fired from his job. You understand? Every now and then they'll throw us one. But for the most part, when cops kill black men, they don't get any time. So when you hear about a woman getting 10 years, first of all, you niggas was out there marching Black Lives Matter because cops wasn't getting no time. Now when the cop gets some time, you niggas complain about the amount of time. Oh, she didn't give her 10 years. If she was a black man, nigga, she ain't a black man. She's a white woman. Oh, the judge hugged her. So what? We live in a society, we know women stick together, and these are two women that are in the judicial system. Stop looking at black and white and look at the fact that these are two women who are on the same side of the law. And giving someone a Bible, I'm going to be honest with you, somebody who killed a motherfucker like that needs a Bible. I think that's a gift from God. It ain't like she gave her a card and said, hey, hit me up so I can put some money on your books. She gave her a Bible, man. What kind of niggas look at a black woman? This is a sister who gave somebody a Bible. And we always talk about how they don't know God and how you can't tell them nothing about God. And how, see, these boys are ridiculous, man. Do not deal with dudes who complain about things they can't control. Because every hour you spend complaining about something you can't control, that's an hour you take it from your life, building yourself into the best version of yourself. And until you become the absolute best version of yourself, you ain't got time to waste not becoming the best version of yourself. You ain't got time. Another thing is this, man. You got to focus. You got to set goals. Set those goals. See, alpha life is about setup. You got to set goals. You got to set boundaries. You know, you got to set standards. You got to set a spiritual base. You got to set. It's just about setting things in order. In order to control your life, you got to set up your life to control it. You can't just wake up one day and say, oh, Lord, I'm going to control my life. No, boy, it takes years to build your life into a place where you can set up. That's why as men get older, they just give up on controlling their life because it takes time and every man knows it. So if you 40 and you already spent not 25, hell, and you already spent 20 years at one job, it's hard to leave that job and say, okay, I'm going to take the next 10 years and build the life that I need, because that's about how long it takes to build an independent life. To build a completely independent life, it takes 10 years of hard work, dedication, and sacrifice of shit. Look at some of these millionaires and billionaires, man. Some of these boys, man, it took them a long time to get to that point. But the thing is, however long it takes you to get to that point, the rest of your life is set up. It's set up in a way that, it's set up in a way, man, that it's so great that people can't even envy it. Have you ever looked at Bill Gates and envied his money? Have you ever looked at, Diddy and envied his money? Jay-Z, have you ever looked at Michael Jordan? Have you ever looked at them and envied their money? You know what I'm saying? And we like to say, well, the only ones who get rich are athletes and entertainers. We're white men. The only ones who get rich are a certain group of men. Men in tech get rich. Amazon, tech. Facebook, tech. Microsoft, tech. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where the money is. Every group of men, like when you look at the Saudi Arabian men, you look at the Middle Eastern men, oil. They get rich from oil. So what? Athletes and entertainers get rich. So what? I'm a firm believer that if a young boy has talent and it can possibly make him rich, you use what God gave you to get what you want to get. Don't let nobody make you give up on what you got. Make nobody make you give up on your dreams. Make nobody make you give up on your strong suit. Let nobody make you tell you, well, it's a small chance that you can do that. Well, you know what? The chance of your ass getting rich working a job are zero. I'll take my 0.1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 15 chance of being successful as an athlete or entertainer over my 0% chance of being successful working a damn job. You see what I'm saying? That's what we're talking about. You got to ask yourself what you want in life. Hey, man, listen. If you just want a job and work your way up and retire, get your pension, I don't knock anybody for that. You understand? My pops was career. Once my pops got his life together and changed. Actually, my pops was a military man, young. My pops went to Vietnam. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't the same after that. You know what I'm saying? He never was the same after that. Got exposed to some shit over there. He just wasn't the same. He was functioning. He wasn't no cuckoo bird, but he wasn't the same. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't the same as like, I remember my uncles and he wasn't the same. But even my granddad, like I told you, man, I come from private stock, homie. You know what I'm saying? I come from private stock. But the military man threw my dad off. You know what I'm saying? But what I will say is this. He ended up, just getting that military pension. He retired, got full military pension, man. They were breaking him off. I'm talking breaking him off a nice chunk, too. You know what I'm saying? Breaking him off a nice chunk. You know what I'm saying? Still giving him a housing stipend, breaking him off. But that's what his life was going to be. Now, granted, those are extenuating circumstances. I mean, that shit they were getting exposed to over in Vietnam, man. It was a travesty to send a group of men over there in the damn jungle. That shit was a travesty. Worst decision any government ever made was to send a group of men into an environment that they're not used to, that they can't even train for, and send them in there and think you're going to get some straightening over there. That's why it was a total loss. But I say this, not to get off in all of that, but if you're a man today and you make that decision to do that, stand by your decision. Keep it 100 with yourself that that's your decision. If that's what you're going to do that. But if you're a man that dreads that, man, you got to start today. You got to start today. While you're sitting there at your desk right now, man, with your little earbud plugged in your ear, man, trying to listen conspicuously, trying to listen inconspicuously to this podcast, man, you got to have a piece of paper right there. Get you one of them sticky notepads, man. Write down 5 things that you want to change about your life. Write down those 5 things. Meditate on those 5 things. And then tomorrow, write down a list of how you can change the first one. Each one of these things is going to have 5 things you could do to change them. And then you start actualizing that shit, man. That's just what you got to do. You're working 40 hours somewhere. Put those 40 hours into you and watch what happens. Another thing you have to understand is this, man. The reason why this alpha life is so lonely, it's not lonely because we're loners. It's not lonely because we're reclusive. It's not lonely because and it's really not lonely per se, because you can have women all you want. But I'm talking about lonely as far as other men being on board with you, around you. The problem is you learn early that you got to surround yourself with positive people or no one at all. You have to surround yourself with positive people. And by positive, I don't mean people that's always saying, oh, kumbaya, everything's going to be wonderful. I mean positive people when it comes to your goals, when it comes to your movement, when it comes to your mission, when it comes to your grind. People that affect your grind in a positive manner. Not just random positivity. Motherfuckers sending you quotes every day. Hey, this day is going to be a beautiful day. The sun is shining and so is your life. You don't want to hear that. I'm talking about people, man, that come around and they invest their energy into what you got going on. If they ain't doing that, man, they worthless. You know what I'm saying? They dead weight. You ain't, man, listen, bro, your ass finna be wore out. Carrying this burden of improving your life, carrying this burden of developing yourself, that's all the weight you can carry. You can't afford to have no dead weight. You need people that's gonna get up under that load with you and take some of it off you. If they ain't doing that, you might well drag that shit along by yourself, man. You understand? That's the reality of it. You know, the reality of life, man, is this, bro, that putting yourself in the position you want to be in, man, you got to take a lot of what everyone else calls losses. But it ain't a loss not to have a whole bunch of friends. It ain't a loss not to have people who believe in you. Because people either going to believe in you, or they either not going to believe in you, or they going to hate on you. You know what I'm saying? When you're trying to get there, they're not going to believe in you. When you get there, they're going to hate on you. You got to detach yourself from what people think and just say, you got to detach yourself from what people think and say, and then attach yourself to what they do. I don't care what nobody say. I look at actions. You understand? If you say you support what I'm doing, and then I'm looking at you and you ain't supporting, guess what, man? To me, you dead weight. That's everybody. Anybody I ever come into contact with. You understand? That's just dead weight. I don't need verbal support, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't need that. I don't get validated by people's words. You understand? Once you get over the fact where you validated by people's words, then you don't care if a woman say how attractive you are. You don't care if a woman say how much she feeling you. You don't care if a woman say how you get her panties wet. You don't care about none of that, because you know you get to the point where you start to expect that. Ain't nothing a woman can tell me I do to her that I don't expect already. It ain't nowhere a woman can tell me she feel about me that I don't expect already. Hell, if I was a woman, I'd feel that way about me. If I was a woman, I swear I get my panties wet all the time. If I was a woman that looked at myself, my panties get wet too. You understand? I don't know how weird that shit sounded, but y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm getting at. I expect a woman to feel that way about me, man. So it ain't nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? I expect real niggas to vibe with me, man, because I'm a real nigga. You understand? I expect that. So I don't get no validation from what people say, man. Listen, I believe in action. So I don't want nobody to get validated from what I say. That's why I don't say validating words. You know what I'm saying? I want people to look at my actions, man. You know what I'm saying? When a man meet me and look at my face, man, and dap me up, man, and then I want him to look in my eyes while I'm looking in his eyes, man, and we see real when we look at one another. And that way we can both relax and not really worry about, you know, what kind of, it's some fugazi shit gonna pop off. Because real recognize real, and then real in the company of real just fucking relax. It's like, okay, shit, I'm in my element. We all want to be in our element. That's why men get stuck in a rut of being in the environment they're in their lives that they don't even like being in, because they're in their element. They convince themselves that that's their element. You find a man in a relationship with a woman that hate him. Treat him like she hate him. You know what I'm saying? Don't give him no loving, don't give him no love. Two different things, but you know what I'm saying. Don't give him no loving, don't give him no love. Don't give him no respect. Don't give him no positive energy. You understand? Don't make him feel nothing that a woman's supposed to make a man feel when she around. Don't make him think nothing that a woman's presence supposed to make a man think. Don't give him nothing positive. And he's still there with her. And it's been that way for 5 years. It's 6 years in now. It's been that way for 5 years. It only was good in the first year. 6 years later, man, he's still in the situation because he's convinced himself that that's his comfort zone. How in the hell can something be your comfort zone when you ain't comfortable in it? Comfort zone means you comfortable, nigga. I ain't never seen nothing like this, man, a day in my life, man. Like, to me, this is just basic logic. SJ3, what's good, my brother? My brother SJ3 here working the wrench, man, getting it in. Appreciate you being in the joint, homie. Devin Miles, appreciate the $2 super chat, man. Prodigal Son, appreciate the $3 super chat. So you got to understand these things, man. We ain't, this is not a game, bro. This shit ain't a game. And you got to think about this, man. Opposites attract. Opposites attract. So that's why a man who is selfless and caters to women and does that all the time always get a woman who uses him. Always gets a woman who uses him. Because opposites attract. That's why a man who's soft and beta and fugazi in his masculinity always get a woman that dominates him. Because opposites attract. So when these niggas out here talking about, well, why that nice girl right there? Why that nice girl right there? Like, O'Shea did a video. Yesterday, man. Did a premiere about why women like, I can't remember, Eliza something, man. She's a pretty girl. Why they always get with dudes like Future. And the answer to that is this: opposites attract. So if you are selfish, fucking, self-pedestalizing, self-prioritizing, I'm talking about self-aggrandizing, self-everything type of dude. Then you get the nicest chicks that's willing to give everything they got to you. Opposites attract. I mean, it's a basic premise that we just seem to have forgotten. Opposites attract. You see what I'm saying? That's why Russell Wilson has Sierra now. Future and Sierra were never gonna work. They're too similar. They just happen to hit off. I think it was some industry shit for real. And they both from the A. I think it was some industry thing. I think it had something to do with propelling either one to some space. But we ain't gonna get into that. So when you look at Sierra, Sierra is hood, man. You know what I'm saying? Sierra's hood. She's from the A, man. She's from the block. Russell Wilson, he's a good old boy. He's a good boy. Opposites attract. So everybody who think it ain't gonna work, it's gonna work until it don't work. They're gonna be together for years. I promise you, they're gonna be together for years. Opposites attract. It's everybody's comfort zone. So as a man that's domineering a woman who just falls in line, I'm gonna keep her on the team forever. As long as she stays in line, I'm gonna keep her on the team. So when I tell cats, hey man, this woman, man, she been on my team for 10 years. These niggas don't even understand that. To them, 10 years mean you married to her. You gotta marry a woman for her to be around 10 years for what these dudes say. You know what I'm saying? That's the reality of it, man. Opposites attract. It's just, nigga, you learned that way back in the day. That's why you can't stick two magnets together. Like opposites attract, bro. Positive and negative. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way it is, bro. I don't understand these dudes, man. To me, it's simple, man. You know, it's simple to me, man. So I just say, you know what, man? Hey, man, whatever these dudes want to do, man. FB, appreciate the $2 super chat, man. I want to say thanks, brother, for the knowledge, brother BoA. Appreciate the super chat, bro. Now, another thing is this, man. When you go to battle, every man has strengths and weaknesses. But your weaknesses are not really weaknesses. You got two sets of tools to use in your life. You got your forceful tools, your guns, your knives. It's the same principle as guns and butter. You got your forceful tools, your guns, your knives, your flamethrowers, your sticks of dynamite. You know, you got your AKs, your SKs, man. You got your Glock 10s. You got all of these things. You got your DEs. You got all of these things. Those are your strong tools. Those are your powerful tools. Your physical tools. And then you got your brain tools. You got your tools to help you navigate situations that don't require any physicality. You got your tools that help you wait a situation out until the perfect time. See, patience is not a weakness. It's just not aggression. Patience and aggression are not fucking weaknesses and strengths. They're two different types of tools. Sometimes aggression I don't know what the hell that is. Sometimes aggression and forcefulness don't work. Sometimes you got to be calm and patient and observant. So when you go to battle, you got to always go to battle using your strength as weapons and your weaknesses as tools. Your strengths are your weapons. You can take the battle to them with your strengths. And we use the strengths and weaknesses because those are the terms that we're all familiar with. You go to battle with your strengths. You take the battle to them. You just rush the tower. You rush the castle and say, let's get them all. Those are your strengths. Use your weaknesses as tools. You say, well, you know what? I think if we go back around and scale the back wall, we don't have to rush the tower. They won't even see us. Let's go through the forest, scale the back wall. They don't have guards at the back wall because there's a forest behind there. They don't expect us to come in from the forest. You go in over the wall, take the whole thing without even making a noise. You see what I'm saying? By the time they realize you in there, it's too late. You got a sword at the neck of the king. See what I'm saying? When you go to battle, don't just go with the things you believe make you strong. Go with everything you think makes you a worthy adversary. Mental, physical, all of it works together. You find me a man who's got great physical strength, but he don't know shit, he can never win a battle. You can always outsmart him. You find me a man that's hella smart, but he has no physicality, he got to try to talk his way out of the battle. He can talk his way out of it, but when it's time to engage, his ass is done. You got to be equally efficient, mentally and physically. That's why any man who don't tell you to strengthen yourself physically, he's a sucker. Any man who don't tell you to strengthen yourself mentally, mental strength is one of the greatest tools you could have in this life, brother. That's that tool that helps you navigate living in your car. That's that tool that helps you decide that you'd rather live in your car than be shacked up with some woman. Because you know this situation is only temporary. Living in your car is only temporary. Man, you fuck around shack up with a broad boy, you look at maybe 10 years, you still shacked up, homie. I've seen it happen. Real talk. Joe Smith, appreciate the $4 super chat, bro. And these are the things, man, we really have to take these things into consideration, bro, because, you know, this shit, life is not a game for us, man. Walter Robinson, appreciate the $2 super chat, bro. Home said BoA was sent by the Most High. Hey, man, hey, bro, and that's the blessing of it all, bro, being sent by the Most High. That's the blessing of it all. See, you got to stay out of your own head. You should never give yourself negative talk. You should never talk down to yourself. You should never tell yourself, you ain't this, you ain't that, you can't do this, you can't do that. Stay out of your own head, man, with self-depriving, self-depreciating talk. You got enough of that going on in the world, boy. You got to be your number one motivator. You got to be the one when everybody else is, because everybody else, that's going to come a time when everybody else is down on what you're doing. Nobody believes in you. And so if you're telling yourself not to believe in you, that means you're relying on other people, man, to motivate you. You're relying on other people to build your confidence in what the hell you're trying to do, man. And I'm going to be honest with you, you're going to fail every time if you can't self-motivate. If you can't keep yourself from giving up, you going to give up. Because frankly, don't nobody else give a damn if you give up. Everybody got their own life to live, bro. Your dad love you, but at a certain point, your dad gonna be looking at you like, hey, man, I'd give you all I can, bro. You got to make some moves on your own. I tell my son that all the time. I be like, look, man, I'm giving you everything you need right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, you know, this is how our relationship is. You know, I talk to you like this, I deal with you like this, and I give you things that you can apply to your life right now. You understand? And you can come to me with any problem you have. But if you come to me with something I think you should have been able to take care of 3 years ago, we're going to have a problem, because then I know you're not thinking using your brain, or then we're going to have to sit down and we're going to have one of those, you know, one of those talks. One of those tough love talks. And that's what this is about. Listen, man, as a grown man, you should be able to give your own self tough love. As a grown man, you should be responsible for your own tough love. Nobody should have to give you tough love as a grown man. You should have it under control. Unfortunately, most men don't, because you got so many men out here telling these young brothers to, you know, not worry about tough love. Everything's going to be gravy. Just focus all your energy on going to chase these women down. Man, how can you as a grown man tell a young man who ain't even got his life together that he need to be chasing women? You should be trying to steer him away from that, man. You know how much of a waste of time chasing women are. You know how much of a waste of time it is. Any man that's saying chase women, he can look back on the time where he spent a whole lot of wasted time chasing women. But he ain't got the wherewithal to say, man, I made that mistake, I don't want you to make it. That's the problem with these boys. They made mistakes and they feel so bad about their mistake, but they trying to perpetuate those mistakes to other young men. And that's the problem I have with these boys. That's the problem I have with them. Joe Smith, appreciate the $14 super chat, bro. See, we got to keep in mind this, man. You got to focus forward. You got to focus forward, because the past is gone and the present is damn near non-existent. You understand? You got to focus forward. All today is for you to build a stepping stone for tomorrow. That's all today is. Today is not for you to waste time doing things that feel good but have no substance, doing things that don't benefit you long term, doing things that don't benefit your process, doing things that sound good and look good but are terrible for you. That is not what today is for, man. Listen, if you're a young man and you haven't even gotten out here and earned your stripes, there's a bunch of things you don't deserve. You got to earn those things. You got to be willing to accept the fact that you got to earn the things you want. You don't deserve things just because you woke up with a wee-wee in your pants, man. You got to earn these things. You got to earn the right to call yourself a man. You got to earn the right to call yourself alpha. You got to earn the right to call yourself real. You got to earn the right to call yourself spiritual. You got to earn the right to call yourself tough. You got to earn the right to call yourself resilient. You don't know if you're resilient if you ain't never been through nothing. You don't know. Freelance Ronin, appreciate the $5 super chat, bro. Brother say, Dr. BoA, you teacher. Salute. Salute to you as well, brother. You see, the bottom line is this, man. You got to understand that not everybody around you is going to want to assist you. There are people around you who are just going to be indifferent. They don't really care if you succeed or not. They don't have a dog in their race. They just don't care. And you got other people who don't want you to succeed. They feel like whatever success you attain should be their success. So all you can do to combat that, you have to allow those who genuinely want to help you to help you. Those who genuinely want to help. You see what I'm saying? Let me tell you something, brothers, and I'm going to be honest with you. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate the super chats, man. There's certain cats that super chat every time they come in. And this ain't me trying to sell y'all nothing. So, if I try to sell you something, then, I'm going to come in here and say, hey, man, I got all, y'all be over here, man, but y'all don't go to Patreon. I ain't saying that. But what I'm saying, man, when somebody subscribe to Patreon, man, that's a different level of support. That's a brother saying, hey, brother, you've done enough. You've said enough. You shine enough positive light. I feel enough positive energy. God has put on my heart enough where I offer you my long-term support. That's a different type of support right there. All support matters. All support is great. But that right there is a different type of support. You know what I'm saying? When I see cats pop up on the site, man, and they grab a shirt or they grab that right there, man, there's some cats, young cats and old cats, that just J-Lax. J-Lax is, man, one of my most staunch supporters. There's pretty much not anything that I've ever put out that J-Lax didn't grab. At all. You know what I'm saying? And it's not about money. But we as men, like, that's how we show our support for shit. When you see a man at the store waiting in line for some Jordans, shit, man, he waiting on them Jordans, man, because, not because, he just want to have them. He's caught up in supporting that brand. That brand represents something. And every brand represents something. So what I'm saying is this. I'm not saying that, hey, man, you're not this if you don't go over there and join Patreon. Or you're not this if you don't super chat. But what I am saying, support has levels. You understand? Support has levels. It's kind of like if you say you support an artist, and every time his music come out, instead of buying it, you just download it. See what I'm saying? I still try to find physical copies of artists, man. If I vibe with them, I still try to find physical copies. Because I like to support the artist, man, by letting them know, hey, man, I support you. So I say that to say this, man. You have to allow those who genuinely offer support to assist you. There's some cats who come listen. They be in here all the time, man. Then I go listen to their channel, man, and they done took one of my topics out of my live stream and made a whole video about it. You see what I'm saying? The next day. But they be in here all the time. They show up. You know what I'm saying? Not every day, but they show up regularly. You know what I'm saying? Or I drop some on my other channel, man, and the same day they'll drop the same video. You know what I'm saying? I look at it, man. Ain't really nothing I can do about it. There's nothing I can do about people, man, looking saying, damn, that's a great topic. I want to say what BoA's saying. I can't do nothing about that. But what I'm saying is that just you have to know the difference between genuine support. You have to know the difference between genuine affection from a woman. Like a woman you can have two women and both of them can interact with you the same way. But you got to know how to tell the difference between the genuine affection and the woman that's doing it with an ulterior motive. You have to know the difference in what it feels like. Because let me tell you something. Good head feels good. If a woman is good at giving brain, it feels good. But there's a woman who does it because she loves you. There's a woman who does it because she loves it, because she loves to please you. Pleasing you is very important to her. And there's another woman who does it because she knows you like it, and she knows that to get whatever she want to get out of you, then she got to do that. That helps her get what she needs to get out of you. So you got to know the difference between motherfuckers that have an ulterior motive and newsflash. The majority of people around you in your personal life are around because they have an ulterior motive. Bottom line. Unless they prove it themselves over years, the majority of people around you on every level, they have an ulterior motive. But that's not bad. Look at it from this perspective. If people have an ulterior motive when they're around you, then they see benefit in your presence. That's how I look at ulterior motives. When people have an ulterior motive, they see something to gain from you. It's your job to guard the shit that there is to gain from you. You know what I'm saying? So when men say, "Oh, she extracted my resources," no, she saw you had resources. She moved in on them. You let her get them. She didn't take them. You let her get them. You have to learn how to keep the things that you have to keep people, the things that you value. You have to keep them guarded. That way you can issue them out to people that deserve them. You know what I'm saying? You gotta guard. You gotta guard the things that hold value in your life from everybody. No one around you should have any time access to the things that you value in your life. No one should. You see what I'm saying? I value my content. So if you make a piece of content using my content in your content, I'm going to file a copyright infringement claim against you. What the hell do you think this is? I work hard creating this content, boy. I put in time. I put in energy. I do double takes. I have to edit this stuff myself, man. I have to make sure the audio is on point. Sometimes I do a whole video, man, and I mess around, not turn my microphone on. So I get ready to edit, and all I see is me moving my lips. I got to go back and record that same video in the same environment and try to get the same feel. And you think I'm going to let you take my content and put it in your content to what? I don't care whether it's an attack on me, whether it's supportive. I don't care what it is. It's my content. You can't use my content in your content the same way you can't use Prince music in your content. You got to go through you got to get some, pay for some apps or pay something to be able to use these people's music. Well, guess what, homie? You got to pay something to be able to use my content. I own it. China White, what's good, baby girl? You ain't lying. They want to be me, shawty. You know it. They want to be me. They can't see me, so they want to be me. But you can't be me, homie, if you die. If you die and your daddy knock up my mama, you still can't be me. So another thing, man, you got to keep in mind like this, man. Never focus on rebuilding. Don't ever rebuild. When something gets destroyed, it was destroyed because it didn't deserve to be functional. If you're in a relationship that ends bad, if it's destroyed, never try to rebuild it. Shit that's meant to be good and meant to be upstanding and meant to be upheld doesn't fail. It doesn't get destroyed. Like, shit don't just crumble because it's in the best condition. You're not gonna find a building that gets the highest the highest inspection rating, and it's suddenly, the highest infrastructure rating, and it just crumbles to the ground. It doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying? There's certain quality of vehicles you don't expect certain things from. You get a GMC vehicle, it's liable to do anything to you, and that covers all of them. I'm talking about from the Chevy to the Cadillac. It covers all of them. From the Oldsmobile, it covers all of them. You get a GM vehicle, it's probably going to do some things to you at about 36,000 miles. You understand? You get a Honda or a Toyota, it's not. You know what I'm saying? You can expect a 36,000 mile warranty. 3-year 36,000 miles warranty on a GM vehicle. You understand? Honda, Toyota, 75. Kia, 100,000. Man, you got to understand the value of shit. And you got to never focus on rebuilding something that's torn down. See, this is the thing. When you look at something that's torn down and you think about rebuilding it, that's your admission that you can't build anything better. So if you were the woman and y'all split up and then y'all go live your life and then y'all end up back together, that's your admission that you couldn't build anything better than something that failed already. Think about that shit. That's your admission that you can't build anything better than what failed already. That's a hell of an admission for a man to make, man. I mean, that's a hell of an admission for a man to make. I can't understand that, brother. That is such a defeatist mentality. You got to focus on building a new construction that's bigger and better than that thing that just wasn't worth nothing. You got to build bigger and better, man. That's the goal in life. To be bigger and better, to build bigger and better, to see bigger and better, to think bigger and better, to live bigger and better. That's the goal in life, man. And that's what we focus on here in the Alphasphere. So with that in mind, man, I say rumble. Young man, rumble. You know what I'm saying?